out of the car right now! Let me see your hands! Walk to me! Where is he? What is he? Is he in the car?
No, he went that way!
Come here. Get down, get down. Let me check you.
Okay.
Get in the car.
Okay.
Let me check you for weapons.
Okay.
Where's he at? Who is it?
His name is Mark. He's my boyfriend.
Does he have any weapons?
Yes, he does.
What does he have?
He has a gun.
This woman, 46-year-old Jeannine Jaramillo, might be one of the luckiest people alive right now. She just survived a kidnapping, a brutal car crash, and a high-speed chase involving 4 police cars, all just minutes ago. A chase that instantly took the lives of 2 people.
These guys are helping me just with kind of first aid stuff. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
My fucking brother.
But now, the police are left with a story told by Jeannine and a possible suspect whose identity is nowhere to be found.
He was punching me so hard in my head and I didn't know what was going on anymore.
Just minutes before this video. Around 11 a.m., Santa Fe resident Richard Mosser was leaving his apartment at the Vizcaya complex near St. Francis Drive to run some errands. As he walked through the parking lot, he noticed a white Chevy Malibu parked sideways, blocking his car. Inside the car, he saw a woman arguing with a man in the passenger seat. Seconds later, she called out to him, clearly in distress, telling Richard she was under pressure, had been kidnapped. Richard immediately called 911, and just as he did, the white Malibu sped off.
Lady out in my parking lot here at the Vizcaya Apartments, she asked me to call the police. Somebody's in her car, won't get out. She says he has a knife held on her. She's now leaving. She's in a white Malibu.
In a situation this serious, with a dangerous, possibly armed kidnapper on the loose, police have only one option: respond with full force. Officer Romero is the first to arrive on the scene, but the moment the Chevy Malibu spots him, it takes off, kicking off a high-speed chase. As more police cruisers join in, the suspect makes a deadly decision, turning southbound into the northbound lanes of Interstate 25. Speeding up to 80 miles per hour, he charges straight into oncoming traffic, ignoring the deadly consequences.
Female in a white Malibu.
We're currently traveling on the opposite lanes of St. Mike, swerving in and out of traffic. Red light, Old Pecos Trail.
It only took a few more seconds before a flood of 911 calls started coming in.
Pull over before a white car almost hit me, and then 5 minutes later, he's on the opposite side.
Officer Robert Duran was right behind Officer Norris, both speeding after the white Malibu as it raced the wrong way down the highway. At the same time, Officer Romero was driving on the correct side of the road, hoping to catch the driver if they turned back. Maybe then they could block the car and bring it to a stop, but the Malibu didn't turn. It kept going, fast, straight into oncoming traffic. The sirens and flashing lights from the cruisers chasing it were the only warning other drivers had. Some were able to pull over in time, but not everyone. Within moments, a black GMC pickup swerved to avoid the Malibu and ended up crashing head-on into Officer Duran's vehicle. Behind that crash, another officer, who had been trailing from a safer distance, collided with a car that had been pushed off the road in the chaos.
On I-25, coming from El Dorado, there was a head-on. There's 3 cars, maybe 4 cars involved. Well, I know they're dead.
During the crash, the Malibu also violently sideswiped 2 other vehicles. The driver of the black GMC pickup was 62-year-old Frank Lovato, a retired firefighter. The impact was so intense that survival was nearly impossible. Tragically, both Officer Duran and Frank Lovato died at the scene from the devastating collision. Officer Romero, who was driving on the opposite side of the highway, witnessed the entire crash unfold. Officer Norris, who was trailing the suspect from behind, also saw what happened. Jeannine, the woman who had claimed to be kidnapped, survived the crash. She managed to get out of the car and walked straight toward Officer Norris.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car right now! Let me see your hands! Walk to me! Where is he? What is he? Is he in the car?
No, he went that way!
Come here. Get down, get down. Let me check you.
Okay.
Get in the car.
Okay.
Let me check you for weapons.
Okay.
Where's he at? Who is it?
His name is Mark. He's my boyfriend.
Does he have any weapons?
Yes, he does.
What does he have?
He has a gun.
Where's he at?
He went running.
He ran?
Yes, he did.
That changed everything. Police immediately went into high alert. They began searching the area, warned nearby residents to stay indoors and lock their doors and shut down local schools and events. The problem: Based on Jeannine's claims, they had almost no real information about the suspect. And the more time passed, the harder it would be to find
Police
him.
continue to search for the kidnapping suspect who caused a crash on I-25 yesterday.
The only description we have right now of the suspect are the clothes he was wearing, a red shirt, black jacket, and black pants. Tonight, state police say they do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the public.
New Mexico State Police are the lead agency in this investigation. They believe that suspect ran from the scene on foot toward homes just east of the crash site.
After she was treated at the hospital, Jeannine was taken in for questioning because even the smallest detail about Mark could make all the difference.
How long have you and Mark been dating? Oh God. I've known him like 2 to maybe 4 months. Not long at all. That's why I don't even know what's going on. Like, I mean, I turned into an evil person, and he was not like that.
During the last 2 to 4 months, has Mark celebrated a birthday that you know about?
I think, I'm trying to remember.
Jeannine gave detectives only a few vague details about Mark. She said he was a middle-aged man wearing a red shirt and black pants and that he had 2 kids. According to her, the argument that day started outside the home of one of Mark's friends. Jeannine also claimed that Mark hit her in the head and that she blacked out for a while. Because of that, she said her memory of what happened next was foggy and incomplete.
He woke me up like in this so terrible way. Pouring some gas on me. Wearing my clothes and everything. He told me he was gonna burn me. Yeah, and he was telling me that I'm not gonna leave and he was gonna kill me.
Do you remember getting out of the car?
I remember a little bit.
Cannot be explained is you getting hit in the head so hard by a man that he knocks you out, and there's not a bruise, there's not a welt, there's
How do they know? How do you know there's no bruises on my head?
We're looking at.
Here's where things get interesting. The more police looked into Jeannine's story, the less sense it made. Let's break it down and compare what she said with the evidence: body cam footage, eyewitness accounts, and physical proof. Jeannine claimed she was knocked out by Mark and woke up while he was being chased by police. But officers had eyes on the car almost the entire time, and no one else was seen getting out or running away. Body cam footage clearly shows Jeannine stepping out from the driver's side, even though she claimed she wasn't driving. She also said she was badly hurt by the kidnapper, but officers didn't see any signs of injury on her body. Then, once she was inside the police cruiser, they found the Malibu's key in her pocket. Her DNA was all over the driver's seat and the steering wheel. She said Mark poured gasoline on her, but her sweater didn't have a drop on it. And the passenger seat? It was so full of stuff no one could have been sitting there. With all these red flags and inconsistencies, detectives decided to bring her in for another round of questioning.
I saw Mark, myself, and everything's blurry, okay? I see him breaking into this vehicle, and it was like a truck. I mean, I could barely see it.
So you saw that vehicle?
I saw a little bit of it. I could barely see. Okay, I had gasoline in my eyes.
How did you see the vehicle? Like, what were you doing? Where were you at when you saw this vehicle?
I'm moving around all over the car because he's all driving crazy. I'm all over.
Hold on, if I recall correctly, you said you were on the floorboard. How did you see this vehicle?
Because I want to know what's going on. I want to get out of there. I'm moving around. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm going crazy, all right? I'm scared for my life. I want to get the hell out of there.
Moving around, and you saw this vehicle.
Not really just moving because I want to. I'm moving because he's all over the road, and I'm getting pushed around, thrown around in the car.
That white Malibu? Turns out it was reported stolen in Las Vegas just 2 days before the crash. And when police dug a little deeper into Jeannine's background, they discovered this wasn't her first time caught up in a situation like this. Back in October, she stole a utility truck. But when she got caught, she blamed it on her boyfriend, saying she had nothing to do with it.
Okay, my boyfriend kept me here, and for like 2 days, he didn't let me go. I don't know what the hell. He didn't give me no water. He didn't give me nothing.
Then in September 2021, she stole another car. A short video clip shows her in the act. When officers went to question her that time, guess what? She had yet another story ready to go.
New Mexico State Police have now concluded through our detailed investigation that there was never a kidnapping or a male suspect involved.
Now everything starts to make sense. 3 days after the crash, Jeannine Jaramillo is arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder.
Now, the judge determined there was enough evidence to proceed to trial with 8 charges filed in the case, including making a false report after police say Jaramillo lied about being kidnapped after causing the crash.
2 years after that tragic day, after the loss of 2 innocent lives, both respected and deeply valued in their communities, justice finally began to take its course. In March 2024, Jeannine Jaramillo stood trial. Alongside 2 charges of first-degree murder, she now faced a long list of serious charges, including causing great bodily injury by vehicle, aggravated fleeing from law enforcement, receiving or transferring a stolen vehicle, second offense, filing a false report, reckless driving. The consequences of her actions had finally caught up to her. But hold on. There's still one major question left unanswered, one that puzzled the police, and maybe you too. We all heard that first 911 call. Richard clearly tells dispatch there's a man sitting next to Jeannine threatening her. So if Jeannine was actually the one driving, and her entire kidnapping story was a lie, who was the man in the car? Turns out there was a man with her real boyfriend, Jerry Chavez. And here's where Jeannine's story gets a twist of truth. Yes, they argued in the car, but it wasn't violent. Jerry never tried to harm her, and he definitely wasn't trying to kidnap her. At one point, Jeannine asked Jerry to get out of the car. When he refused, that's when Richard walked by, and Jeannine took her chance. She claimed she was in danger and told Richard to call the police. Right after that call, and just before police arrived, Jerry stepped out of the vehicle and walked away. Jeannine never mentioned him again. Not to the police, not during questioning. She let the lie grow, turning a simple argument into a deadly high-speed chase. After all the arguments presented in court, the testimonies, the evidence, the defense trying to shift the narrative, the jury finally reached a clear and final decision.
State of New Mexico versus Jeannine Jaramillo. We find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree as charged in count 1. State of New Mexico versus Jeannine Jaramillo. We find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree as charged in count 2.
Jeannine Jaramillo, 49 years old at the time of the trial, was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole only after serving a minimum of 60 years behind bars.